there's a soccer game in the hall, they don't have much, just everything full. What did they tell you up there?
So we can't do anything because we don't have names.
I talked to Barbara, and I told her that I had not identified the person yet, and I told her not to use that or to tell one that was not an excuse. That didn't have anything to do whether he would issue a warrant or not. Did he say that if he had a name, he would issue a warrant?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did he do who y'all talked to?
The circuit clerk, Warren. Yeah,
Okay.
Warren.
All right. Y'all hang tight just a second.
Okay.
What?
What's going on? That's weird.
Time of event was actually around 6:45. Oh wait, heard from the week. So why does that say 6 and that one says 7?
Happened at about 6:45, 6:50.
Oh, heard from 2. So actually. I don't know if that really matters.
What is it?
The time.
Where did he say he was going?
I don't know.
I called up there and talked to him. He said that he told y'all that we wouldn't be able to get the warrant because we don't know who it is. All right. I asked him by looking at the report based on the facts, regardless of who the suspect is or isn't, he could still look at the report and see is that a warrant. He said he didn't think it would be. Y'all welcome to go back up there. I'm a little bit aggravated because I told them that I wanted them to specifically look at the facts of the case to see if a warrant could be issued and not to use the excuse of, well, we don't know who the person is. All right, I'll do my best to find out who that person is.
This is an assault charge, man.
Well, and that's what he was supposed to have determined, and he didn't. And I'm not trying to be short with y'all. It just kind of pisses me off that he didn't look at the facts of it to say whether or not there would be a warrant. You know, I talked to, like I told you the other day, I talked to the district attorney, and he said he didn't.
So here's the thing: is that Tammy Power, she gave Tammy Power permission to hold her up.
Well, I didn't necessarily give verbal permission. I just had no other choice because someone had to hold me up. I couldn't even stand.
So it's not that we're after. So Tammy Power, we just need for her to tell us who was this person.
Yeah, and what I'm going to do, since he told y'all that, I don't think he handled it the right way. That's just my opinion. We're off Monday. All right, I've got either Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll go up there and talk to Tammy and find out who that is.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to keep from when I lose my temper, I say stuff I don't need to. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not aggravated at y'all. But I asked him to look specifically at the facts of the case because you can determine whether a warrant would be issued or not based on the facts of the case. Yeah. And I wrote down exactly what you told me. You're welcome. Normally we would.
Right, and when I told you what I told you,
this really happened, man.
I don't doubt it.
That entire situation, it can be found out who that person is based on talking to the people that were there. Tammy Power, Amber Smith.
Yeah, but that's my point is, regardless of who she is, he can still look at the facts of the case to see if that rises to the statute of a criminal investigation. And that's what he was supposed to have done. He told me he read it and he didn't think there would be a warrant, but apparently he didn't tell y'all that.
Who is it that you're talking about?
Warren.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said he told us that he would need a name.
Yeah, and I asked him that. He said that when I was telling him or asking him about the facts of the case, I said, what did you tell them specifically? He said that, number one, they didn't know who it was. I said, did you say anything to them about the facts of the case didn't meet a criminal or did meet a criminal act? He said, no, I didn't say anything. I said, one, you should have told them people whether it did or it didn't. So I'm a little bit pissed off at him. But that's just.
Are you following?
Yes.
I'm not.
Not really. I feel like that. I don't know what's going on here. It doesn't seem like we're getting help. That's all I can see for right now.
Okay. So what is supposed to happen?
I will go, like I said, I will call or go up to y'all either Tuesday or Wednesday and talk to Tammy and see if I can find out who this girl is.
Didn't you already do that?
No, because once the DA told me that it didn't rise to the criminal act, then there's no point in me getting that.
So how did they know that without investigating?
Exactly. Do what now?
How do they know whether it rises up to a criminal act or not?
Because they get a copy of everything that's on the report. When we release a report to an individual,
based on what I said.
It's just the front page. Hold on.
Okay, I'm
trying to explain. All right, when you go up there to get a warrant, just like we do, you have to fill out a deposition. All right, which is basically where you say what happened. And I don't know why he didn't get you to do that because I asked them specifically to get you to fill out. Did you fill out the deposition?
He gave that to me, but he said this isn't really good because you don't have a name to go by.
That don't matter. The name to go by doesn't determine whether a warrant is or isn't issued. Okay. What I would do if I was you is, I know you're not going to have enough room to put everything on that.
Right.
Okay. You can take and right there where it says details of the offense. All right. Start right there, and this is why I wanted them to do this because I don't want y'all to think that I wrote something different down than what you told me.
Well, why can't they just give us the report and we put it in there?
Let me get through.
Go ahead.
Start on the details of the offense and write down everything that happened. When you run out of room on this, go to, you can Probably the easiest thing to do is just like Microsoft Word and type it
Type
out
something.
and attach it to that. That way you have all of your words.
Yep.
What you said happened.
Yep.
Is on record. That way it's 100% fair because
That is what is important.
you're describing it in your own words because you were there, you saw it, you are the potential victim. And then they should look at that and say yes or no that there's not a warrant. That's the same thing we have to do when we do to get a warrant. It's the same steps we have to go through. That's why I wanted you to do the deposition, is you could put everything down and nothing would be missed or left out. That's why I asked them to do that.
Now, all right. Now, tell us why we're not allowed to look at what you wrote out for the report.
I asked about that, and I told them, I said, when they come get the report, don't treat them any different than anybody else. Anybody that comes up here that gets the report gets this front copy. The rest of it is faxed up to the circuit clerk for him to read what we wrote in the narrative. That's just common procedure what we do.
But we weren't allowed to read it there.
That's the circuit clerk's decision. It don't have anything to do with us. If you look on the back of these reports, this side of the form is confidential unless released at the discretion of the chief law enforcement officer.
But how can we justify it correctly if we can't see it?
That's what that deposition's for.
So we're not allowed to just say, okay.
That's what the deposition's for, Christian.
Yeah.
Is for her to write everything down word for word. That's why I want her to do this.
And then
is because there won't be anything left out.
And then this goes into the court.
And then it basically, it'll be on file up there, and it won't matter what I say.
Okay.
That way, by you writing it down yourself, then you can get, like I said, everything.
And then
that
can that be twisted against me, and then them say based on the law enforcement's report I'm lying?
No, no, because I mean
we've been going through a lot of stuff here,
man. You
man.
can tell me something one day, and then 2 weeks later you try to tell me the same thing, and there's going to be certain details that are not right. No, there's not going to be anybody going to come after you for lying. No.
Okay, because
Well, what you know is for a fact is that she said no, and somebody stuck her fingers inside of her hand.
That is in my report.
That's
while
what
I
we know
was
for a fact.
bleeding.
While she was bleeding and having contractions.
and waiting for an ambulance to come
I put
that
it
we
here.
called.
On my report, it says that you told her no twice. Okay. And that's there again. I wrote down what you told me. It's better if you do the whole thing yourself. That way they can't say, y'all won't think, and I'm not trying to say that y'all are accusing me of anything, but that way there's no doubt that everything you said is on document at the courthouse for the people that decide whether or not a warrant is issued.
Now, why didn't we do this 3 weeks ago?
Well, because to start with, I had to see if it actually rose to the crime or a level of what is in our statute as a crime.
And does it?
The assistant DA I talked to said no.
So then why am I doing this now?
Y'all have nobody's making you do that. It's just.
I guess what she's trying to say is that if you put it through and it got turned down, why is it that she's going to put it through and it's going to go through?
I'm not saying it's going to. It's just like I explained to you, y'all have that option. If you're wanting to try to get a warrant, if they tell me no, then if she writes everything down herself, then you had your chance, your trial.
And how does a DA know that there's no case whenever they don't even know any evidence or nobody's done any types of investigation?
Well, because when she told me what happened, they look at the basics of the occurrence of what happened, regardless of any. I don't have to have evidence for Danielle to tell me that somebody did what they did. All right, I was taking her for her word that it happened, and I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I believe that it did, but that person said at that time they did not feel like it rose to the level of a crime according to Alabama statute.
Okay, so in Alabama statute, is it mandatory for an assault charge to be investigated?
I don't know of anything. What do you mean by investigated?
To investigate it, to see if it even happened.
Nobody's doubting that it happened. Okay.
So then they're saying, the DA saying that even if it did happen, it doesn't matter. That's basically what the DA is saying.
Not saying that it doesn't matter. It's just saying that it doesn't rise to the level of what meets our criminal code.
So if I just go find a woman out on the road right now and stick my
y'all
hand in
want
her.
us and we can play this game all day.
But do you see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, and that's exactly
Some woman
why.
stuck her hand up in me when I screamed
and that's
no.
why I'm telling you the best thing for you to do is write everything down on that deposition in your own words. That way nothing is missed. And they can see everything that you said.
And this person is Brian McVeigh, correct? The DA?
He's the district attorney. I talked to one of the assistant district attorneys.
Okay.
There's several of them. You know, you have, it's
Is
like
that-
any other place,
is
you
that
have
Slinker?
one DA and you
No.
have
No.
several assistant DAs.
Uh-huh.
Which, I mean, that's what we do on every case. We don't go straight to the DA on everything.
Uh-huh.
Rarely do I ever talk to the actual district attorney.
Okay.
It seems like you're upset with us, but I
No,
hope,
I'm not.
I hope you understand.
I'm not. I'm upset because
we're
they
running
didn't
around.
give y'all the opportunity to fill out this deposition and look at everything because I specifically asked for that. And the message may not have gotten conveyed to him because when I called up there, he wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it aggravated me a little bit.
Basically, the conversation we had when we went in there was we were told to come in and that you have the other half of the report and we need to put out a warrant. And so we assumed that whatever name was on the second half of the report. He went back, he looked at the report and said, there is no name, so I can give this to you, but it's going to be kind of difficult and it's kind of useless without a name on there.
And that's why I called and told them ahead of
So-
time that we didn't know the name, but to let you still do the deposition to see
Yeah.
if the facts rose to that, what I'm saying as far as a criminal act.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's y'all's choice
Okay.
whether y'all want to do it or not.
Well, I'll do
I
it
would
and
recommend
then-
doing that.
Is the sheriff, can we speak to the sheriff?
He's already gone.
He's gone for the day?
And like I said, don't worry about any of this stuff on top. Miss, look over here. This one.
This one.
Yeah, slide it over. I can't quite see that far. Don't worry. You ain't got to worry about anything up here on the name of the accused.
Mm-hmm.
You write down what happened.
Just right here.
Yeah, well, and like I said, you're not going to get it all on there. I know there's no way.
Yeah, I'll type the rest.
And you just put the rest on there and attach it, or
Mhm.
just staple it to the back, and then you go back up there and talk to Warren again
Mhm.
Tuesday, or whatever day y'all want to, as long as it ain't Monday, because they're closed Monday. So
Why are they? What's January?
it's Martin Luther
Martin
King Day,
Luther
I think.
King. Yep.
You know, and please understand, I'm not aggravating at y'all. It's just I get a little frustrated when I ask for a certain reason for something to happen, and it don't.
Mhm.
Well, we've been running to that.
I know,
Since
and
we've been in
that's
Heflin.
why I told who I talked to the first time to let y'all fill out the deposition. That way, and I know I keep saying this, it's your words.
Mhm.
You're telling the entire story.
Mhm.
That way, nobody can think or say that maybe I left something out and it caused it to not be considered a crime.
Mhm.
If you write it down and you tell it like it happened,
Mhm.
then there's nothing going to be left out. Nothing will be missed.
And it will be in our records for further usage if
Yeah.
need be.
I guess. I mean,
Exactly.
that's all you can do, and then you try and do everything as legal as possible.
What is a
and-
deposition? Just a statement of what happened?
Basically.
So this isn't like an actual warrant. This is a deposition.
No.
Okay.
That's just, we have to do all of, any case that we make, there has to be a deposition attached to it, and it's, we have to swear to them, and I'm not sure if they make, I would assume if it's just like the process we have to go through, that y'all may just have to raise your hand and say, I swear in the firm.
I mean, would it help to get it notarized? Because I will literally
Well,
write
you mean like an affidavit or something?
word for word.
I don't think the notarizing, because all a notary is just saying that they saw you, the
Yeah.
person that signed it.
Uh-huh.
So that
Okay.
shouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
But no, absolutely do not worry about if there's something that's different from what you wrote than what I wrote. No, you are in no trouble whatsoever. So don't worry about that.
Only reason I say that is because we have been dealing with liars this entire time of being in Heflin, where people are setting us up left and right, and then we just tell the truth. We tell it how it is, and then we're told
And that's
that we're
exactly
lying.
why I asked them to let you do this.
Uh-huh.
Because it's your words.
Mhm.
You tell the story of what happened. That's 100% exactly why I wanted him to do that. That way there's nothing that's left out or missed or messed up because I may have not put something in the report that I should have. I don't think I left anything out. Obviously, I didn't write down every single word you said. That's impossible to do. But I put in there what you told me about you bleeding, about you telling her no multiple times. I think I put in there twice that you told her no twice to stop. But there again, if it's in your words, then nobody can say that something was left out intentionally to cause you to not get a warrant.
And there's no third party involved as you're doing it. It's just
When you mean third party.
you would do like third party. When we come to you, it's third party. Then you file it in, but then it's not really, But if we file it, it's first party under affidavit, and it has to be more asserted. It's more taken into action.
Well, I don't know that it's more taken into action. It's just there again, nothing's missed, nothing's left
Yeah.
out.
Well, there's no
Okay.
affidavit in third party, but there's an affidavit in first party. That's what I'm saying. You know, as far as to put it into the courts.
Well, even if I work a case where I sign a warrant on something, there's still, if you're calling a deposition affidavit, I still have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the one signing it about, like on a murder case, obviously the victim can't sign it. But there again, I want it in your words.
Mm-hmm.
That way that there's
I want it in my words too, because I will literally, I'll never ever forget that night. It was supposed to be an amazing experience that turned into a horrific event. So
And it didn't stop. I mean, we had some peace.
It's still not stopping.
Yeah, it's still not stopping. We had some peace for a little bit after Tammy left our room, and then we had our child, and then for 18 hours everything was great. And then after 18 hours, our entire world flipped right back upside down again.
And there again, I don't think that I'm frustrated at y'all, and I don't think that Warren would have done that intentionally. I don't. Maybe he didn't get the message that I asked for y'all to do the deposition. I don't know. I wasn't there.
I think that we're having a lot of problems with like people being passiveness to the situation. Maybe it might be because it's that, or it's a friendly family town, and I can understand that. But anybody in my family, if they do something wrong, I'm gonna have to tell the truth. I tell the truth no matter what. If you're my brother, whatever you may be, I always speak the truth.
Well, and there again, that's why I want it in her words, because they can look at what I wrote compared to what she wrote, and they can see that there's nothing that I left out to intentionally cause a warrant not to be issued. And that's why I told you what I told you on the phone. And let me say, I don't have Facebook. I don't know what has or hasn't been said on Facebook. I refuse to do Facebook. I absolutely hate Facebook, Twitter, whatever you call it.
Twitter, yeah.
So I don't know what's been said about anything. I take my job, I do the report, I take everything that I do seriously. And friends and stuff like that they don't bother me. I arrested my police chief's brother one time and got just all kinds of chewed out. I may have told y'all that last time. But if you write that up and they feel like it rises to the level to get a warrant issued, I will do everything that I can possibly do to identify who that girl is.
I appreciate that. And then also, if, let's just say the DA decides no again, is there another step that we can take?
Speak to the sheriff.
Well, the sheriff doesn't have any authority to issue a warrant. We can't issue a warrant. We have nothing to do with who does or who doesn't get a warrant.
In other words, who's above the DA?
Oh, probably the state attorney general, I would think.
I thought that's who I was going to in the beginning, but I guess I was just a district attorney.
You have district attorneys that are over certain circuits. Like we're in the same circuit as Calhoun County, we're the 7th Judicial Circuit.
Yeah.
And the district attorney is basically the prosecutor for that area.
Okay. Yeah, I thought last time you were saying the attorney general, but I was mistaken about that. You said
The attorney general is the highest law enforcement officer in the state, to my knowledge. I think I'm telling you right. If I'm wrong.
But last time, whenever we came in here, you said you were going to investigate and then give all your information to the attorney general, but I could have been mistaken. You said
the DA.
I
don't.
Okay.
I couldn't even tell you what the attorney general looks like.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. All right. All right. So we fill this out and we go back to the courthouse.
Well, we're closed now.
4:30.
Closed. Yeah, I'm not going to be.
Yeah, don't rush it, because don't leave anything out. Take your time. And I know it's not something you'll forget. I know you remember everything that happened. Just take